We are going to end today with a sutta on page 64 called the Vittaka Santana Sutta. And this sutta is essentially about a person who is engaged in the higher mind, adicittanu yuntassa. Okay, this means that higher mind here refers to a person who is doing samadhi. And the word chitta in places, adicitta refers to samadhi. So one is developing samadhi. So when one comes across unskillful thoughts, and one is assailed by unskillful thoughts, how does one handle them? So there are 5 ways of doing so. Now, the first one is by substitution. If you think of something that creates a lot of unwholesome, evil mental states, then you try to substitute with another object. Substitute with another object that can bring about wholesome mental states. That's number 1. So by substituting one object and it brings about wholesome mental states, then that's good. If it doesn't, you try the second strategy. The second strategy is to reflect on the drawbacks of those thoughts. And if that works, good. If that doesn't work, you go on to the third strategy. And the third strategy is to ignore them. Just shut them off. Ignore them. And the fourth is to still the thought sankharas of those thoughts. Now that one is a bit of a problem. Don't know exactly what it means. So even after having tried to still the thought sankharas of those obsessive thoughts, still doesn't work, then you go on to the last step. What is the last step? Grit your teeth, push your tongue against your palate, and say, "Shut up!" Okay, next one, number 5, on page 69. Earlier on in the description about samatha, there's this imagery of postures. And here again, on page 66 and 68, there's the imagery again. If you look at page 66, last paragraph, you will see, just as a man monks would walk fast, it might occur to him thus, "Now why do I walk fast? What if I walk slowly?" And he would walk slowly. Then it might occur to him thus, "Now why do I walk slowly? What if I stood?" And he would stand. Then it might occur to him thus, "Now why do I stand? What if I sat?" And he would sit. Then it might occur to him thus, "Now why do I sit? What if I lay down?" And he would lie down. Thus that monk, having avoided one grosser posture after another, would take up a subtler posture after another. So the question is, do you think this simile of changing postures has any relation to the process of stilling the mind that we talked about earlier on? Okay? The answer, it could be yes or no, but I want you to give reasons. Easy to say yes or no, but why? And also I want you to tell me, it's not stated here, but tell me how to put this simile into practice. Because this simile is about how to still the thought sankhara of those thoughts. This is a fourth strategy. The first one is substitution, second is reflecting on the drawbacks, third is ignore, and this one is stilling the thought sankhara of those thoughts. Right? And the process of stilling is described in this simile of postures. Right? So instead of just doing something just theoretical, meditate and see how to actually put it into practice. Okay, so that's what you're going to do now. Close your books, or you'll be tempted to read. Okay, sit with your back straight. sitting with your back straight is one of the things that the Buddha would instruct a bhikkhu when he starts to meditate. He said, sit in a secluded place, cross-legged, with your back straight, and mindfulness established as a priority. We give you a concession. No need to sit no need to sit cross-legged, but please keep your back straight. And bring your attention to the sense of being seated. And as you are aware of the sense of being seated, try to consciously relax your body. Relax your facial muscles, shoulders, arms, hands and fingers. Relax your legs, your chest, abdomen, legs, feet and toes. If you could just periodically check that your back is straight and your body is relaxed, that itself can keep you grounded and anchored to the present moment. Whatever meditation that you are doing, by default, you should periodically check your back and check that your body is relaxed. Checking your back will ensure that you are putting in the effort. And ensuring that your body is relaxed will keep you informed of whether you are putting in too much effort or not. If you put too much effort, you'll be tensed. If you slacken, your back would slouch. So please continue with whatever meditation that you are familiar with. And if you should encounter any evil, unwholesome states of mind, try to apply the fivefold strategy of Vitakasantana Sutta.
Does it mean that the meditator is to select a meditative object or style to suit his mental condition at that present moment when he's doing the meditation? For example, when he starts meditation, when he starts to sit, and he finds that his mind is going all over the place, then he decided, instead of sitting, let me just do walking first. Okay? So that means his ability to switch based on his mental capacity of that moment. That means he is given the option to switch as and when he wants, and he has to choose one that suits his mind frame at that point of time when he's doing the meditation. That's how I understand it.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm right.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. You understand what he says? I don't think you all do. Okay, anyway, anyone else?
The first part is, yes, we agree on the similarity. And the reasons are only two. One, both talks about the development from a gross to a subtle posture. And number two, both discourses speak about the mind is made to stand properly, the mind is made to sit properly. That's all.
Bhante, I just want to clarify something. I thought this changing of posture, can I interpret it as when one changes a posture, one will be able to actually see what the mind is actually trying to do. As we change a posture, then if we are able to catch what the mind is trying to do, then we are able to catch that urge, the volition. And when we catch the volition, even at the time when the thought comes up, we are able also to catch the volition of the thought before it becomes full-blown.
Okay, we take the simile of bringing from a grosser posture to a subtler posture. So when an unwholesome thoughts arise, then we must break down the thoughts and examine the thoughts from the components, break it down and see what makes up that thoughts. What is that thought made of? Then when you break it down, as you keep breaking it down, basically you have dissolved the thought into, no longer, the unwholesomeness is no longer there.
How do you dismantle the thoughts?
You break it down by seeing what is that unwholesome thought made of. What are the components of the unwholesome thoughts?
Okay.
And when you keep examining the components, you eventually dissolve the thoughts.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Sadhu? So far, that's the best answer I've come across. This is a difficult simile to put into practice, but what our brother here has just said is, I think, quite close to how I can understand the simile. Let's bring you back to the first three strategies. The first three strategies are: number one, substitution; number two, reflecting the drawbacks; number three, ignoring. Right or not? Okay. So I was also thinking somewhere along the lines of what our brother said just now. Because if you look at the simile is questioning. Why am I walking fast? Why don't I walk slow? And then after you walk slow, then he asks, why do I walk slow? Why don't I stand? And so forth. So it's like questioning, asking yourself, why? So in the same way, you could ask yourself, why am I thinking this thought? I've really tried step 1, step 2, step 3, still doesn't work. Why is this thought coming up? Why? Why is it coming up? So when you keep on asking why, you are trying to look at the cause. What is the immediate cause of this thought? What made it arise? And then you try to look at the cause of that thought. You sort of distract your attention from the content of the thought, because the content of the thought is the one that pulls you and fetters you. Right or not? If you're looking at the cause, it's something else. What caused this thought to arise rather than what is this thought about? You try to investigate the thought, and what is this thought about, you get sucked into it. Right? So you keep on asking yourself, why? How come this thought is still coming? Why? What is the cause of this thought? Where it came from? What is the immediate trigger for this thought? Perhaps by doing that, you might be able to curtail that thought, because instead of getting involved in the contents of the thought, you are looking at the immediate cause, the proximate cause of that thought. Okay? So this is just my try. I don't know whether I'm right or not. Okay?
But is that anything to do with Vitakka Vichara?
Question is that anything with Vitakka Vichara? I guess so. Why not? Because the title of this talk is Vitakka Santana Sutta, how to steal thoughts, right? And in this particular step, it talks about stealing the thought sankhara, and the word Vitakka is there, Vitakka Sankhara.
What happens if you cannot shut up your mind, and as you go and inquire about your mind, it goes blowing higher and higher energy. So what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, you go to step number 5. Step 5, you grit your teeth, push your tongue against the plate and tell your mind, shut up.
But it doesn't work that way. It won't shut up. It blows up faster.
Get up and do something. Like what I said just now. Get up and do some gardening or sweeping the floor or something.
So we just don't.
Catch mosquitoes, yeah.
we just don't want to meditate again.
Yeah. Because you can't do it anymore, but still do something useful. And also try to be mindful of what you're doing. Okay?
Thank you.